The world we inhabit is more than cities, borders, and human history. Long before our civilizations began, and often long after they might fade, Earth-shaped marvels that dwarf human ambition. Towering cliffs, endless coral cities, thunderous waterfalls, salt deserts that reflect the sky like a mirror. Some of these places defy logic, challenge imagination, yet they are absolutely real. If you stay with me, by the end of this video, you'll feel the weight of time, the power of geology, and the fragile grandeur of nature. And you'll understand why preserving these wonders demands more than photos and hashtags. Let's travel beyond the map, beyond paved roads, into the wild geometry of Earth's masterpieces. Natural wonders stand apart from anything man can build because they were carved, grown, or forged by Earth's own forces: erosion, tectonics, water, time, and sometimes sheer randomness. They often reveal deep geological or ecological stories of shifting continents, rising mountains, evolving species, or millennia of sediment and water. When you pick a top 10 list, you're not just picking pretty places, you're picking living archives. As you walk through these wonders, think like a student of Earth. Ask how it formed, what makes it unique, how it has changed, and how long it might last. Stretching over 2,300 kilometers along Australia's Queensland coastline, the Great Barrier Reef is the planet's largest coral reef system, composed of thousands of individual reefs and hundreds of islands. It's a living metropolis underwater, built over millennia by tiny coral polyps. From the air, the reef is so vast it can be seen from space. For a geographer or documentary maker, the reef is a case study: how biological life scales to geological magnitude, how fragile ecosystems endure in shifting seas, how climate and human activity weigh on natural mosaics. When you explore the reef, physically or intellectually, treat it as a warning and a wonder. Document which species still thrive, which corals bleached, how water temperatures and human interference have reshaped reefs. That makes any account more than a travelogue. It becomes ecological evidence. On the edge of Arizona, the Grand Canyon stands as a monumental scar carved by time and water. Over millions of years, the Colorado River cut through rock layer upon layer, exposing geological history that spans nearly 2 billion years. The result is an immense chasm, deep, sprawling, layered, a textbook in Earth's history written in stone. For those interested in survivalist geography, the Grand Canyon reveals geography's dual nature: awe-inspiring but unforgiving. If you trek its trails, pay close attention to geology, climate, water sources. Document the layers, erosion patterns, and signs of human impact. Use that awareness to understand how fragile and how enduring natural landscapes can be under pressure from time or human interaction. At 8,848 meters above sea level, Mount Everest remains the highest peak on Earth, a threshold where Earth's atmosphere thins and, honestly, the weather becomes a real test of human endurance. As a natural wonder, Everest represents extremes: extreme altitude, extreme cold, and extreme geological uplift. For explorers or documentary makers, Everest demands respect for nature's raw scale, for the risks of ambition, and for the fragility of life itself. If you document stories around Everest, climbers, geology, mountain communities, it's important to keep one eye on the human drama and the other on the shifting glaciers, climate change, and geological stresses. That dual lens, turns a mountaineering tale into a broader narrative about Earth's evolving extremes. High on the Andean Plateau lies the world's largest salt flat. What appears as an endless white desert is, in fact, a crust of salt formed over millennia in a dried-out prehistoric lake. Many top 10 lists include salt flats or bizarre terrain among natural wonders. The flat reflects the sky, warping perspective and turning horizon into infinity. For a geographer, Salar de Uyuni is a reminder that Earth's wonders aren't always dramatic height or depth. Sometimes minimalism, uniformity, and scale combine to produce something uncanny. Use this wonder to show how climate, Water cycles and time convert lakes to deserts, water to salt, and geography to spectacle. In fieldwork or documentary form, it's worth emphasizing scale, reflections, salt crust texture, and climatic history. That makes the salt flat not only a visual marvel but geological evidence as well. On the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe, Victoria Falls drops 108 meters in a 1,708-meter wide curtain of water, creating the largest single sheet of falling water on Earth. With such power, the falls produce a spray that rises hundreds of meters, forming rainbows and, depending on the season, plumes visible far away. For people studying geography or natural history, Victoria Falls is evidence of water's long-term erosive power, of river plateau interactions, and of how water, not ice, not wind, but liquid flow, shapes continents over time. When documenting it, focus not only on the spectacle but on geology, basalt plateaus, fracture zones, ancient lava flows turned into canyon walls. Beyond reefs, canyons, mountains, salt flats and waterfalls, Earth holds deserts, floating ice, rainforests, caves, skylights, like auroras, and biomes we barely understand. The richness lies in diversity. Any top 10 list will exclude some deserving candidates, but that doesn't make them less vital. For a serious geography buff, that breadth means every region holds secrets. Always question what makes a wonder mine: dramatic visuals, ecological significance, geological rarity, or long-term survival. If you talk about natural wonders in a documentary or research context, include some lesser-known sites. Contrast the obvious, waterfalls, peaks, with subtle but critical wonders, biomes under threat, delicate ecosystems, places that reveal Earth's history or future. That adds depth and responsibility. If you are planning travel or field research, use these wonders as case studies. Observe how climate, geology, and human impact play out. Document changes, receding glaciers, bleaching reefs, erosion, tourist impact. If you are making a documentary, don't just film beauty, film history, geology, threat, resilience. Use aerial shots, local interviews, geological commentary, ecological data. Frame each wonder not as a postcard, but as a chapter in Earth's ongoing story. If you are a survivalist or someone studying long-term environmental trends, understand that natural wonders are fragile. They teach us humility. Use that awareness to advocate for conservation, sustainable travel, informed observation. Because natural wonders are more than pretty scenes. They are time machines. They are records of climate shifts, tectonic collisions, life's resilience. They remind us that humans are not central, Earth is. When we record, study, protect these places, we honor geological time, biodiversity, and fragile balances. If you treat these wonders as more than travel hashtags, as archives, as warnings, as invitations, then you become not just a spectator, but a steward of Earth's legacy. Thanks for staying with me on this deep dive into planet Earth's most incredible natural marvels. If you enjoyed this approach, exploring beauty, scale, history, and fragility, subscribe and share. Let's keep looking backward into Earth's past and forward toward preserving its wonders.